Well, here we go. It's a lovely afternoon, so we're going to take the bike for a ride. We don't know where yet, but yeah, here we go. Bike's already loaded. Not that you can see, but yeah, the bike's already loaded. And the idea is to take advantage of the weather, see if we can get some shots riding on some Dutch roads, and pretty much see what the world looks like. Yeah, not for the first time. I'm overdressed. Even knowing I was coming out because of the weather, I put on a shirt and this sort of jacket. I'm also wearing my new scarf, bought for me by Gracie, my brother and sister-in-law's greyhound. The scarf isn't really much for warmth, if I'm honest. It's one of the best places to put the microphone, which you can probably see just about here somewhere. Yeah, up there. But it adds to the overall temperature nonetheless. I suppose I ought to probably apologise every time I do these audio or video recordings. I sound and look knackered. I assure you it's nothing to do with my fitness. It's our old friend, the Dutch wind. I'm really not that unfit. And some of you who have listened to the podcast may have heard talk of the earphones, earpods. They're not essential in one sense, but they do allow me to keep a better tag really on the audio, which is better then for editing, and also allows me to note during the ride rather than afterwards whether things have gone awry. But as I said in the podcast, they're not the sort of earphones that drown out sound and replace it with music or radio programs. They're linked to an audio recording device which amplifies to quite a degree car noise, traffic noise, etc. in the earphones, but at a tolerable level when played back. Going to get to use my bell, which is always nice. Thank you, Val. A couple of pedestrians in the way, as we're in Holland, rather than scowl at the cyclist or threaten violence, they just moved out of the way. Being British, I thanked them for it. Doing my bit for international public relations, pre and post Brexit. And now you're facing the direction of travel rather than looking at my ugly mug. And joy of joys, I've trained. Congratulations to the producer there, pulled that off nicely. Restart ride, train arrives, gates open, boom, we're back on again. Yeah, so still no real destination in mind. Just a quick word on cycle paths again. These you'll notice are, well, near as if it is to swearing, block paving. And there are a lot of them here in the country. And while they're not unpleasant really, they can be a little bit juddery, I suppose. Ah, here we go, Holte. Darp. Havel to Bird. So this is quite an unusual, well, not unusual for the Netherlands, but unusual in sort of British signs. If the road is deemed too dangerous for cyclists to cross the roundabouts, you tend to find there's an underpass located closely by. I've got to check the signs because I'm not quite sure. No, I was going the right way. Bear with me. Some of you will remember from the podcast I mentioned the brilliance of the signs, how you can never go wrong, and then at the end of the sentence realised I was facing the wrong direction completely. So the sign's limiting factor, it would seem, is being British. Yeah, I lost my thread again. Yeah, so the road systems are pretty standard, pretty safely laid out. Cyclists are well away from roads, safe as houses. And as I say, just back there where you get a allegedly roundabout that's a little bit tricky or deemed tricky for cyclists, there'll be something built as an underpass tunnel to take the cyclist safely on his or her way. So what we've done is we've changed cameras a little bit just so you can get a different shot of proceedings. As you'll see, sunglasses all de rigueur today. Don't know whether you can see at all the sort of road behind me, but all sort of like everything in the Netherlands, straight as a die. Yeah, it's nice in the background, isn't it? Oh, it lends itself to good images, the straight roads on the trees. I suppose what I'll say really, or what I'll say is this bit in the Netherlands, the sort of prologue, as I'm calling it, it's a bit of a fake news story, because once I leave here, I'll be mostly using camping facilities and B&B accommodation through warm showers and similar cycling B&B networks that exist around the globe. But while I'm in the Netherlands and predominantly based in Steenwijk, there isn't an element, or doesn't feel like an element, of roughing it or under any sort of pressure really. I've got a couple of things planned in the coming weeks where I'll use Vrienden op de Fiets accommodation, which is the Dutch cycling network B&B, and fabulous it is too. Just bear with me, I've got a roundabout to negotiate without much knowledge of where I'm going. Bear with me, yeah. So, I'm going to turn off this road, change of plan. We're going to go to somewhere called Vesterveen, which I may have pronounced wrong, but roundabout and all. Never swap cameras, or never swap hands with your cameras when you're using a selfie stick and you've secured the selfie stick to your hand. That could have been a bit tricky. Anyway, returning to the sort of roughing it and not, as the case may be, while I'm here, so I've got a few things I want to do which will involve Vrienden op de Fiets, and also I'm going to try a couple of what they call here trekkers huts. I do know camping in Britain. I mean, God, sleeping on the ground, why would you? But I'm going to try these sort of trekkers huts out. They're sort of basic wooden cabiny type things, and I'm going to give those a go. But like a lot of things, I'm guessing, where camping's involved, a lot of places close down for the winter and don't open up till spring. So I've planned a little tour of the north and plans for a Ronde van Nederland. So I plan to use a couple of those sort of trekkers huts, which could be fun. Well, we've stopped because, just bear with me a second, we've come across pots of strawberries, which you can buy for €2 each. So we're going to treat ourselves to the Aardbeienjam van Egenbos, which I believe is for €2. And then we're going to choose one of the jams. Well, you've got to bear with me a second because I can't get the lid off the... Oh, there's a stone in there, that's why it's proving to be difficult. There you go, and there's one, there's two. And reaching for the jam. And that is smashing. The only sort of problem I've got now is to get it in this little bag, which, bear with me. Yeah, so there's the jam, there's the bag. And I don't think, on the one hand, it'll be too difficult to get it in. There you go, that's gone in there nicely. It does now commit me to carrying the camera all the way back. So that's us. There's the bike. There's the jam. And with that, we'll set off. I've seen a sign to Steenwijk, so I'm not knowing quite where that's going to take us. That's our route home. Well, this might not be quite what I had in mind. Fietspadden, nevertheless. Steenwijk 6 kilometre. This could get very messy. This is, well, I'd say this is probably, this is military base of some sort, army, I'm guessing. Everything in the arm is painted green, there we go. I mean, in one sense, it's fantastic. Nice little stretch. Purposefully straight. Not a lot of overtaking room obviously, but one of the things about cycling in different places, not necessarily around the world, but in any place that you're a stranger or new to, is that you make a decision to follow a road, and it's strange that you get this sense that I'm definitely on the right road, or you get the other feeling, which is I'm definitely on the wrong road, but you set off anyway. And there comes a point when, if you're unsure, you have to decide whether you're going to stick it out and carry on down a road that you increasingly believe is to be wrong, or you turn around, go back and check where you are and where you're going. I have to say, to my eternal shame, I've been on a number of correct roads, particularly in this country early on last year, where I was adamant I'd made a mistake, cycled on for 3-4 kilometres, turned round to get to the point where I made the turn, checked my route and realised I was actually going in the right direction anyways. This is probably a right path for me to be on. Could ask the two military gentlemen across the way, but could get a bit messy. But all the way up we've got a bit of a turn. And perhaps a need for a mountain bike. Oh no, I'm going down here. Oh, the path has suddenly got cycling tarmac on it, so we're good. I've refrained from taking photographs of the actual base because, well, Dutch are pretty liberal people, but I'm guessing anybody that's taking photographs of a military establishment probably giving off the wrong signals. Swing around here. There's a track on the left which has all the hallmarks of being playground for tanks. Huge divots in the sand. Has an oval shape to it. Perhaps it's unofficial tank racing or something. Referring back to my being overdressed, as I said earlier, I've got a jacket on, cycling jacket, sort of splash jacket thing, a shirt and a scarf. I could probably get away with a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. According to this sign, it's Snowbag. Perhaps I'm in a parallel universe and this is a completely different town called Snowbag. Certainly I've never been here before. Oh, you'll notice these little roundabouts. The cyclists are given a specific piece of territory to cycle on, take them away from the traffic, which over here goes back to being normal road, but obviously the road users the Dutch, so they're a bit more friendly towards cyclists. I want to say it looks familiar, but in truth it doesn't. Am I going down here? I think I probably am. Yeah, I know where I am now. Hang a right up here. Need to do some hill sprint sessions on a bike. That might be the place to go. About 25 of those you'll have. Don't you keep?